someone with a car. The victim's head went straight through the front windshield, but the woman acted as if nothing had happened. She drove all the way home with the man still lodged in her windshield and parked in her garage. Then, as if everything was perfectly normal, she turned off the engine, grabbed her purse, got out of the car, and went inside, leaving the barely breathing man to die where he was. The next day, the woman had a huge bump on her head and was wearing mismatched shoes. Looking dazed and confused, she prepared to go to work, but as soon as she got in her car, she let out a startled cry.
The list! You forgot the list.
You'd think she had finally noticed the men beside her, but she had only just remembered that she forgot to grab some documents. After going back inside to get her papers, the woman calmly got back in her car and drove to work, completely ignoring the fact that there was still a man impaled on her windshield. By sheer coincidence, it happened to be Halloween. People were dressed up in all sorts of bizarre costumes, and cars were decorated with scary props. So when people saw the woman driving around with a man stuck in her windshield, they assumed it was just a Halloween decoration. Some even shouted that it was so cool. But then the man's leg suddenly moved. It was clearly a real, living person. Passers-by immediately called 911. However, the operator wasn't particularly concerned after hearing the report. Every Halloween, the emergency center receives dozens of similar calls that turn out to be pranks. This year was no exception. They'd already received dozens of false alarms, so the operator didn't take it seriously. Later that evening, a firefighter who had just gotten off work stopped at a gas station to fill up. He also happened to witness this bizarre scene. At first, he didn't think much of it either, assuming it was just another Halloween stunt. But then the man's foot moved again. That's when the firefighter realized something was seriously wrong. Seeing that the woman was about to drive away, he immediately got in his car and gave chase while reporting the situation to the emergency center. He shouted for the woman to pull over, but she didn't respond at all. He had no choice but to speed up and force her to stop. Even at this point, the woman had no idea what was happening and actually scolded the firefighter for his driving. The firefighter apologized while examining the woman's pupils and determined that she likely had brain damage. He then quickly checked on the man's condition. Incredibly, the man was tough as nails. After being stuck there for a full day and night, he was somehow still alive. The rescue team soon arrived and immediately rushed both victims to the hospital. After examination, doctors discovered that the woman had suffered damage to her optic nerves from the car crash, which explained why she had failed to notice that there was a living person impaled in her windshield the entire time.